Greetings, my friends. Thank you for watching this video, and if you would be so kind, please subscribe if you like what you see. Help our channel to keep growing and keep fighting the war to save pop culture. Together, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. Enjoy, and thanks. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and I am here today with a heavy heart. For Henry Cavill himself revealed last night that he will not be returning as Superman. This is a huge blow to fans, especially given that just back in October, Cavill posted that he would be returning as Superman, and while at the time there was much rejoicing, Warner Brothers pulled the rug out from under Cavill and hung him out to dry yesterday. After giving him the go-ahead to make the announcement on social media, they changed their mind and left the poor man holding the bag. Well, I have a leak from a source inside Warner Brothers who provided me detailed information as to why Cavill will not play Superman again, and I will be presenting that to you here in just a few minutes. But before I jump to that, let's cover the basics of this tragedy. Here's what Cavill said yesterday on Instagram. I have just had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and it's sad news, everyone. I will, after all, not be returning as Superman. After being told by the studio to announce my return back in October, prior to their hire, this news isn't the easiest, but that's life. The changing of the guard is something that happens. I respect that. James and Peter have a universe to build. I wish them and all involved with the new universe the best of luck and the happiest of fortunes. For those who have been by my side through the years, we can mourn for a bit, but then we must remember Superman is still around. Everything he stands for still exists, and the examples he sets for us are still there. My turn to wear the cape is past, but what Superman stands for never will. It's been a fun ride with you all, onwards and upwards. Henry Cavill is a class act. This is one of the most graceful bow-outs that I've ever heard, but I tell you, man, this is heartbreaking.
It makes me want to cry hearing this, and I'm an evil eldritch god. But even I'm not evil enough to embarrass a movie star by having him celebrate a win that wasn't even coming. I must say, Cavill has had a very bad time lately. First, he was driven to quit The Witcher due to extreme wokeness from the showrunners, who were increasingly going to make Cavill a guest star on his own show in order to focus more on the women in the cast. And now, Cavill has been driven away from his role as Superman. I must confess, though my heart was black as coal back when I had a heart, I feel for Cavill too.
Why, Skull of Calderon, there may be some hope for you after all. The sad news of Cavill's departure from Superman broke last night live during Pop Culture Breakdown, and it basically took over the show for quite a while as people vented their sadness and their fury at James Gunn over his perceived role in this situation. I immediately reached out to my Hollywood spies and asked them to beat the bushes and find out what actually happened. I received a report this morning about why DC decided not to make a Superman movie with Henry Cavill after all, and I will reveal what my spies told me in just a moment. But first, let's look at what they're saying about this in the mainstream media. The Washington Post posted an article titled "Henry Cavill Dropped as Superman in James Gunn's New Film," and in that article they lay out what happened. Quote, DC Studios has a new Superman movie in the works, but it will not feature Henry Cavill as the eponymous hero of the franchise, according to the studio's co-director and the British actor himself. The news came just weeks after Cavill announced that he would return as Superman, though he didn't reveal details of the film at that time, and entertainment news outlets reported that there were different ideas under consideration for the franchise. Gunn announced in a tweet late Wednesday that he is writing the new film, which will focus, quote, on an earlier part of Superman's life, so the character will not be played by Henry Cavill. but we just had a great meeting with Henry and we're big fans and we talked about a number of exciting possibilities to work together in the future," unquote. Gunn and Safran were hired to lead DC Studios this October, and this is their first major project announcement since taking over. A terrible start, folks. A terrible, terrible start. Gunn, who is known for directing The Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy, said he has been writing the script of the new Superman film for a while and is looking for a director for the project. The news comes amid a major shakeup at DC Studios owner Warner Bros. Discovery, which was formed following the recent merger of Warner Media and Discovery. Following the merger, Warner Bros. Announced a raft of cancellations of planned content in a bid to save money, including projects in the superhero universe such as Wonder Woman 3, which was set to be directed by Patty Jenkins. The company said in October that the price tag of its content cuts could reach $2.5 billion, unquote. Folks, when I heard this news last night, sadly, I wasn't surprised. Saddened, but not surprised. If you'll look back through the videos I've done in the past year, you'll notice that I never did a video featuring any rumors about Cavill returning as Superman. That's because a source told me early on in Zaslav's tenure that Zaslav was eyeing the cost-benefit ratio of having Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, and Ben Affleck return to their iconic roles, and Zaslav was inclined to cancel their projects and bring in new, cheaper cast members. I was extremely surprised when I learned this and disappointed as well, but even after that, I kept getting other reports from other sources saying, nope, Cavill is definitely coming back, and in the end, I felt enough doubt about his return being real that I declined to make any videos about it, even though it was low-hanging fruit and would have definitely generated a lot of clicks. Even when Cavill announced it himself in October, some niggling doubt kept me from making a video about this, and now I'm glad I resisted the temptation. So what really happened behind the scenes at Warner Brothers? Here's what I was told by a source this morning. At this point, I must state that the information I'm about to share with you was provided to me by a source claiming knowledge of the situation inside Warner Brothers, but since I cannot personally verify any of this, I am presenting it solely as unverified rumor, and I ask you to please take it with a grain of salt. My source claims, quote, "This move is from Zaslav, and the reason it happened is at the feet of Ben Affleck. Allegedly, about 3 weeks ago, Ben started trying to back out of the Batman role. This made Zaslav very angry. Then Black Adam flopped, and the fact Cavill was in it didn't help. Zaslav was very disappointed. Add to that, Aquaman is on its 4th reshoot. Then the Patty Jenkins debacle happened, and Zaslav called Gunn in and told him, 'I'm done with this. We are resetting the whole DCU. I want new actors for everybody.' The source claims that Cavill was told after this meeting there was no hard feelings, everyone is still on good terms," unquote.
Shit. I hope this isn't true, because James Gunn sure is catching a lot of shit for this, man. There's all sorts of hate for Gunn now on Twitter. There's a Fire James Gunn hashtag going around. I think Zaslav severely underestimated the blowback on this, if indeed this was his doing.
Well, again, Harvey, the reason I didn't make any vids about Cavill is because sources had filled me with so much doubt about his status. I didn't want to mislead anyone with hope that I felt in my heart could damn well be false. This story does fit in with what that source told me a while back. Zaslav is cost-cutting, and he did inherit a mess with all the Flashpoint drama surrounding Ezra Miller and all these other incidents. These movie stars are very expensive. It made sense that if Zaslav was already hesitating to hire Cavill, Gadot, and Affleck due to their high salaries, a string of DC headaches and disappointments might well push Zaslav off the fence. Problem is, Zaslav and Gunn have landed on the wrong side of the fence. I don't know if this account is true, though it comes from a very trusted source I've worked with in the past, but I tell you, from what this source says, Gunn may well be a sacrificial lamb at worst, or a casualty of friendly fire from Zaslav at best. Regardless, Gunn was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I guess there's no way he escapes taking the fall for this. I will keep trying to get more info on this story, and I will bring you what I discover as it comes in. But one thing is certain. This is a dark day for Superman fans. From the center of the earth, this is Victor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, don't lose heart and stay angry. Ha 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 ha